Welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Mordechai and Esther's Manipulation of Haman. There's an amazing Gemara in Megillah, Daf Tet Zayin. Haman is told by Achashverosh, shockingly, that Achashverosh wants Haman to lead Mordechai on the horse. He was terrified and humiliated by the whole proposal, but he had no choice. So he goes, according to the Gemara, he goes to Mordechai. Mordechai is giving shiur. Mordechai sees him and he tells all the Rebbes there, the Talmidim there, run away, he wants to kill me. And he starts davening. While he's davening, Haman's patiently waiting. And finally finishes davening. And Haman says, what were you guys doing in there? He says, oh yeah, I was doing Kamitza, showing on the Mikdash how it works to have the Kohen do Avoda, the Korbanot on the flour offering. He said, well, that's worth more than all I have, because I'm in a really bad spot now. So Mordechai says, what do you mean now you're in a bad spot? You don't have anything. Everything you have belongs to others. Achashverosh, you're nothing. And he was tough on Haman. So the conversation continues, and he says, let's go onto the horse because I have to give you this ride and let's get it over with. And Mordechai is very hard on him. He says, no, sorry, I have to change. I don't look nice. These are days of mourning for the Jewish people. We're in sackcloth. I can't go on the horse. I need a haircut. And everything was closed because during those 3 days of fasting, Esther closed all the bathhouses and the barbers out of a sign of Avelot. So then Haman has to give Mordechai a haircut, and he's sobbing and crying. This is terrible. This is humiliation. So Mordechai said, don't think you're anything so great. You were a barber years ago. Don't get so high on yourself. He's being real tough on him. And the conversation goes on, and Mordechai keeps jabbing him. Then finally, it's time to get onto the horse. And he said, Mordechai, let's go up on the horse. He said, that huge horse, that's a king's horse. I can't get up on that horse. I don't have strength. I've been fasting for days now. So the time was running out. Haman had to take Mordechai on the horse already. So what happens? Haman goes and bends down as to let Mordechai on his back onto the horse. Mordechai, as he's getting onto the horse, gives him a nice kick in his ribs. So what are you doing? You don't do that to another person, your enemy in his downstage. So Mordechai said, no, that's two Jews have a fight and they relate to each other as enemies. Don't be happy when one is a downfall. But you are the same with Tidro. I should just go ahead and whack even more. Jump on you when you're down. And Haman realized that this is not going very well. This is a bad day. He takes him for the ride on the horse. The famous Medrash is on this daf in the Gemara that his daughter, Haman's daughter, thinks that it is Haman who is on the horse and Mordechai leading, and she dumps the garbage down. It goes on to Haman. She sees it's Haman, and she commits suicide. That's the story. That's the Gemara. So it's a funny story, entertaining story, and Mordechai really getting against Haman. Haman's trying to kill us, and we got him good. But the fact is, Haman is still number 2 in power. And there's still a degree against the Jewish people. So going ahead and taunting Haman for what? Without even getting to the ethical question, is it right to taunt a Russia? If you hold you should kill him, just kill him. If you're not going to kill him, don't kill him. Without getting into the ethical question of taunting a Russia, pragmatically, why are you doing this? You're going to make him crazy. He's going to really want to kill the Jews now even more. So I wonder if the answer is, if you go back a few pages to Yud Gimel and Bet in Megillah, it says over there how Haman was so careful how he sold the plan to Achashverosh. He went ahead and he said, listen, Achashverosh, you have people here that are not productive. And he went to all the halachot. He knew the halachot of Judaism well. Shabbat Hayom, Pesach Hayom, this day, that day. They can't work on all these different days. And you should know, Achashverosh said, yeah, but they have divine providence. No, they're not keeping the mitzvahs well. Divine providence is only when they're keeping the mitzvah well. He understood and he studied. And you should know that they really disrespect you. He said, why? He says if a fly would fall in their wine, they just take out the fly and drink the wine. If you would hold a cup of wine, they would dump it out. Isn't that terrible, Achashverosh? Haman worked through. He studied Judaism well enough to make a sales pitch to Achashverosh. So he was a thought-out Russia. But not only was he a thought-out Russia, he executed things very well. Mordechai didn't bow down to him. He was incensed. He wanted to kill him. It rocked his whole world. He didn't. Why not? Because he was a Russian control. He knew if he goes in and lashes out at Mordechai, Achashverosh didn't give him permission. He said, what are you doing? You're taking power into your own hands. No, I have to stay under control. He got home, and that's when he let it all out. But he didn't do anything to Mordechai on the spot. So that's the most lethal Russia in the world, the one who could destroy or get close to damaging, destroying the Jewish people, chas v'shalom. Had well thought out plan and a well executed plan without letting their emotions get in their way in their planning or in their execution of it. That was Haman. And Mordechai saw this. And Mordechai Dafka wanted to shake him up, get him crazy. And he played together with Esther. So here's Mordechai degrading him, making him feel like garbage. Then Esther invites him to the party. Like, wow, what's going on here? Total lack of stability. And that's what they wanted. And they brought it about. Because what happens? He was shaken up at the party when Esther accused him. And then he fell on the bed, her bed, in front of Achashverosh. You don't do that? That was suicide. He didn't have the stability yet. He was just being thrown like a feather in the wind. That's exactly what these tzaddikim wanted to do to him. Shake him up and rock his stability. And that was the greatness of Mordechai and Esther the Chachamim, who had a clarity here, and their minds were working 24/7, how to go ahead, bring salvation to the Jewish people through davening, sackcloth, mourning. And you see Mordechai, right after he finished his horse ride, hey, he should be so ecstatic. Well, that was fun. What an honor. I got to put down Haman. Ha, that was great. What does he do? Pasuk says right back to the sackcloth. He didn't lose himself at all. He knew there was a crisis, and that didn't change at all with the horse ride. So here we have the life of these two tzaddikim, who were guided by Chachma, by Bina and Dat. And we see how they dealt with Haman. Trying to from a psychological standpoint, pragmatic standpoint, davening to Hashem, having mass tshuva go on, and Baruch Hashem, with all these factors together, Baruch Hashem, there's Revach V'Hatzalah to the Jewish people. Mi'etz Hashem today, may we all as Jews have the Chachma Bina Dat, that wisdom to deal with our enemies and deal with any crisis. Having that shiluv, that balance between working out rational plans, keeping stable, davening to Hashem, doing whatever you can to have Hashem's providence. Mi'etz Hashem, we too should have the bracha like the Jews had a few thousand years ago in Shushan. Shalom.